Hello everybody, it's time to actually review the character itself, which I didn't, I only did the first impression. I know I'm late, sorry. This week has been pretty hectic and, well, let's be honest, I also streamed for 14 hours yesterday. And since I started 2 hours late, because as a dumbass I woke up a bit too late, I was a bit too tired to actually finish this video. I was basically almost done, and now I finally am done with it. So, here we are now, fast forwarding to this. I can actually make this video. God damn. So, moving in. Now we know her stats, which are absolutely insane, I'm not gonna lie. 36 HP, 25 def is already enough to take hits. Now, the problem with this is that she's blue. Most of the meta is green. And the two red units that are like really high on the tier list, she doesn't consistently deal with them. For instance, Togen, or Tong like I like to call it, is a pretty potent bow. It's actually, if I'd be honest here, I'd say it's the best bow we've ever gotten. Period. Thank you, phone. When it comes down to legendary bows, it's absolutely insane. It definitely does a lot for her because everything that's meta related is either a sword, a lance, an axe, or a dragonstone. Which all of these gives her an extra 4 points. So it's basically as if she had, oh, I don't know, 166 BST every time that she initiates. Which is good. The problem is, she's a bow. If you want to have a color like this, if she was a lance unit with that kind of thing, that kind of firepower, that would be absolutely monstrous. Because then she would have an extra 12 points. Can you imagine, like, okay, you see that stat line had 12 points into def, or 12 points into HP, or 6 points into HP and 6 points into def. Yeah. That would have actually helped her a lot more than having a goddamn bow. The problem is, when it comes down to bow unit, the reason why I consider colorless bow better than not colored is because in general you always have like some matchup in every color that matters, right? If you have a brave bow, you can just buff your attack stat with, or regardless of the bow really, but brave bow is the main one that comes to mind for really high-end meta. You can buff up your attack to a point where you do really well against all of them. If you have a colored, yeah, it's gonna be a bit easier for red, but is it gonna be required? No. For example, my George doesn't fucking give a shit if it's an Ira. But if he was green, that would kill him. Because she's red, and he's colorless, he kills. I would not kill if she was if I was green. And likewise for green units, if I was blue, I would get fucked. So colorless basically has a pretty even matchup on everything, which means that buffing your stats is important for every matchup. Whereas in there, well, it helps you get some kill. You can basically get kill earlier with less buffs, obviously. But that's about it. Like for example, Lucina, if she's not fighting a Osteopulse buffed up Zelgus, which means if he has a steady breath, yeah, you basically take a hit and then procs Black Luna on your ass, which is 20 extra damage, which kills you. He does 43 damage in general. You are not close of living this. Obviously, I'm thinking with a plus 10, obviously. But Black Luna scales, the higher the merges, the better Black Luna feels like. Like, here you'd have 29 def, you'd lose 23, you'd have 6 def. His 59 attack, his 59 attack becomes 48. You still die. Actually, wait. Now I'll add also Togen for good measure. That's 33. you lose 26 def, you go down to 7 def. Wow, your Togen gave you an extra 1 def essentially. Welcome to Black Luna. It's absolutely cancerous. You still die. You still die. You're 5 HP off of living, basically. So, yikes. Now, if he's not buffed, you will kill him. And the other important matchup is Ira. You cannot win against Ira with Togen. Yikes. Unless you run something like Fury, so you have that that extra bit of bulk. Even at +10 versus +10, it's a rough matchup. And the difference is Ira was a bit easier to +10 than, you know, Lucina, who's on the legendary banner, doesn't come all the time. So +10 Iras are easy to find, but you +10ing in Lucina is not that easy. And Lucina, not Lucina, but Ira can very, very easily just have this tiny bit of buff that gets you killed. It is a very explosive matchup, to say the least. 33 def, that's cute, but say just an attack tactic Ira, right? And she's attack plus, which is what people tends to run the higher you go in arena. Personally, I run speed plus because I prefer being better all around, but you get the idea. Here, you get 15 damage, because you did damage to her, Wrath explodes, so you have an extra 10 damage there. That's 25 damage. If you do 15 damage, you kill. You fucking kill. With Ragnalastra, which is 40 speed, which she has without a merge anyway, so yeah. Attack tactic gets you killed. That's why I say, like, Fury is almost required in this case. And even then, you can still die. And that's also why I say you kind of want to have Brave Bow to deal with Ira, but if you have Brave Bow, well, Zelgush is just going to 100% of the time explode on your ass with Black Luna and you'll die. Yeah, it's rough. Unless you obviously buff it to shit, but at that point, just use a colorless bow. You'll also do well against green unit, which are plaguing the arena right now. Obviously, Future Fusion, I also made a huge mistake there. I said it was basically Dance and Swap combined. I was 100% wrong. People did point that out in the comment. I completely misread. It's basically Gale Force and Swap. After you swap, you can move again, which is absolutely broken. And it's the only reason why our legendary hero battle sucked ass, because she effectively had a 5 movement range and 6 attacking range. To give you an idea how stupid this is, it basically meant she covered 40 squares out of 48 in one turn. So you had to stay out of fucking danger, either that or you had to attack on her and she initiates. Oh, by the way, 2 cooldown a fucking Aether sounds fucking fair. What? Yeah, she did have that. Anyway. Moving on. Already said my piece about Distant Guard. I feel like it's a very underwhelming skill outside of PvE. Or certain AA rounds, but I feel like that's not exactly what you'd use Lucina for. She is a fantastic unit still. I'd say if you're talking about legendary hero, she is 4th on the list in terms of utility. But that's not saying much. Especially with stuff like legendary Lyn. Ugh. Obviously Ike is the best. The second best would be Ephraim. The third best would be Hector. And Hector would be number 1 if you're considering score range, by the way, because he scored the best and helps you the most at scoring high. Literally a +3 is worth a +10 on a full team of fire units. I think I made my piece. So, and then she's there, and then it's like Gunthra, and then I don't remember the other 3 in order. I think it's Grima, then or no, it's Ryoma, Grima, then Lyn. I might have forgotten one. Honestly, some of them are very forgettable. Doesn't help that none of them are really characters I like outside of Guntra, so... But yeah, so decent unit overall. As you can see, 2.53, 30%, and decent amount of chance of blue orbs as well, so yikes. Well, yikes, it's good, but eh. For those who are curious, yes, I did get her. I did train her on stream yesterday as well. Didn't exactly give her a full set. All I gave her was basically Rekonakora, and left it at that because I don't see myself using her all that much. I will most likely use Wallheart a lot, but not her. Anyway. Boy oh boy, those rates! So, obviously, first things first. Thank you, Mage of Mine, for giving me the rates of this banner, so I can actually work on this sooner. Thank fuck, because otherwise it's kind of a bit of a problem for me to do something when I don't have the info for it, isn't it? So, I've placed them in order of legendary hero and then the order you want them. Like, Chrom is better than Camilla. That does not mean Ryoma is better than the other two, but if you're going for scoring, you're most likely going for those units. So, alright. It's, this banner is, it's pretty garbage, honestly. Ryoma is a mistake. Fucking flyer with DC, but no ways out of, you know, the flyer problem. Making DC kind of pointless is rough, to say the least. He can be better than Grima still, because Grima's main problem is that you need merges to really make her shine. If you don't have merges, yikes. Also, no slaying stuff, so... that's rough. But once merged, Robin completely outclassed Ryoma in my opinion in terms of utility. Chrom is fantastic. Don't let his speed fool you. With speed plus he can hit stupid amount of speed in the 40s. High 40s in fact. Camilla is still the best def tank when it comes down to red flyers. It's nothing amazing anymore because, let's be honest, Elincia was already existing back then. But, and Pala does kind of her job. If you want to have a very bulky red flyer, Pala is your best bet. My Pala hits 38 def and 37 reds. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. Lucina I already covered. Ishtar is absolutely amazing, especially now since Flashing Blade is now a seal. It helps her being extremely relevant. And honestly, I've used one of my friends, Ishtar, in GC a lot. And oh my fucking god, does Flashing Blade do a lot of things for her. Especially since the guy only has Flashing Blade as his A slot, so... it can actually be improved. So, yeah, she's absolutely insane. Azura is a garbage truck dumpster that should die. I think I've made that point pretty clear. Moving on. Lane is worse than Lucina for both scoring and utility-wise, so just don't bother. They're both wind heroes after all, so it's kind of dumb that, you know, you have the obviously inferior version on the same banner of the obviously better version, but whatever, right? Green is not good. Green is not good, guys. You still get killed by red and green alike, and the few blues you kinda deal with is, well, they have so much attack, let's just put it that way, and also a lot of bulk. Able to tank both hits is kinda nightmarish. Laza Seke is a mistake. Her entire kit makes me want to puke, seriously. Her A-slot is meant to be a defensive A-slot. Desperation is an offensive B-slot. A weapon is a mix of both, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, girl? Also, Wary Fighter kind of fucks her up. So, and of course, one of the best Wary Fighter users in blue, Effie, because she has it to begin with. Yikes. So, yeah. she's kind of underwhelming. Lisa's a fantastic unit, but mostly gonna be used for Bolt Fighter, honestly. She does outscore Sheena, so there's that. So if you have one that's really merged, go for that. If you don't, just kill her for Bolt Fighter if you have a unit that wants it. Lucina, sorry, is back then she was a tactic fodder, sorry, which is something. Now it's like, well, tactic is in colorless. What's your point? Because her stat line isn't exactly fantastic. It's better offensively than Cecilia, but Cecilia is this weird bulk that she can kind of use, and she's way easier to get. So it's like, and you know. Robin already spoke about her. She's a balanced fighter, needs a lot of merges to truly shine as a unit. Bravelyn is Bravelyn, we all know what it is, and Inoka is just a worse Bravelyn, so yeah. Worse Bravelyn, but oh guys, she's a flyer. Never mind the fact Summer Takumi exists. Never mind he literally has a banner where you can get him easier than Inoka here. Never mind all that. Anyway, let's move on to the comparison for Lucina, which I should have done first, but oh well. My bad. So speaking of Takumi and Lin, here they are. Stat line alone, you can already see the huge difference between Lin and Lucina. Lin has no def. Lin has 21 def. Why, oh fuck, is that a thing? To give you an idea, certain FEs will do 3/4 of her HP a swing. Oh, did I also say Slaying Lance, Steelspol's Bonfire is a thing? Because that kills her. Slaying Lance, Steelspol's Bonfire just does like 40 something damage. She has no way out, she does not do enough damage, she's just dead. Yay! Glimmer also kills her. Moonbow doesn't, but Glimmer does, so... And since Effie has so much attack, Glimmer is the one that's gonna be used if it's to cooldown. It's rough. Lucina is not fantastic by any means, but at least she can do what she's meant to do, killing red units. At the very least. She's not exactly fantastic, though. It's quite clear she's not fantastic. She is still going to be fantastic, though, if you're talking about PvE content. PvP content, she's fucked. She's boned. And the main reason I wanted to have Takumi here is because Takumi is on a banner right now. And as you can see, he kind of has better bulk overall outside of the weapon. The main thing you want for Lucina is her base weapon, like the tongue weapon. That shit is really good. But if you're going to go Brave Bow, just don't bother with this banner and go try to get Takumi. Basically is what this is. Because Takumi gets flyer buffs, which by the way, why is she not a flyer, Lucina that is? Or, you know, literally anything. Anything would have been better. Nah, dude. There's a flyer over there, better stats, colorless, so doesn't have to deal with color difference. Can abuse buff way better. Can have access to gold flyer for God's sake. Can have access to buffs like Camilla's axe as well. And then you have Lucina, who just doesn't have any of that. On the bright side, if you do like Lucina, this is the best that could have happened for her when it comes down to Blue Bow. This kit is genuinely good for a colored bow, and it's actually impressive that they actually were like, okay, Lin was a mistake, let's rectify. I just wish she was a lance unit, because in general, the main problem with bow when they are colored is it's just a less it's a unit with less BST to begin with, and on top of it, you're trying to make her compete with armored units, and on top of it, lance units exist. Now, I do understand that if she was a lance unit, she would score so fucking high, and on top of this, future vision would be absolutely horrendous to deal with in arena. But my god, like, actually, she would literally score as much as base Hector does, so... Yikes. But still, I feel like a lance would have been better. But that's just me. Because at the end of the day, bow or lance, they do the same damage against a armored unit. Okay, sorry about that. Guess food is over there. But yeah, so... Yikes. Like I said, if what you're going for is a better bow, go for Takumi. If what you want is just Lucina, go for Lucina. Personally, I went and did get her as she was HP minus Res plus. I don't care. Am I going to fix her IV ever? No, probably not. And I'm just gonna call it a day like that. So sorry for this very late reply, I guess. This very late video. Hopefully this sates your curiosity when it comes down to it. Like I said, she can sort of deal with Ira. It really depends on what your team comp is and also what the enemy team comp is. One thing I will say though, and I forgot to mention this, I don't know how, because there's literally a tactics showing this off, but if you have two Sumiyas, a tag death tactic is absolutely amazing on her. I mean, a tag death link, my bad. On her or literally any one of the team you would swap a lot with, because this is 6 attack, 6 death she gets for no repercussion, which helps her a lot in the Ira matchup. Especially, like, I don't think any other I literally don't think any other link would be better for supporting her. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it at that. It's been already 22 minutes, and I'm a bit of a game addict that wants to get back to his dose now that I am home, so I'll see you guys later, or in the comments, or on Discord, as usual. See you.